Johnston. I'm the director of the Sherborn Library.
I'm Tom Gazunas. I represent CHA, and we're the owner's project manager for the library construction project.
And I'm Brian Connolly. I'm the chair of the Library Board of Trustees.
The original library that we're standing in now was dedicated in January of 1971, and it was a gift to the town from Richard and Mary Saltonstall, who lived in town for more than 50 years. So about maybe 20 years ago, we started a plan for the library's future and raise funds to be able to bring the library up to code and to make it accessible for all abilities and to add a children's wing. That was a long-term goal. So in January of 2017, we broke ground and we are almost finished. It's been a long wait for the community and for all of our colleagues. But we are extremely happy with the results. We are looking forward to moving out of the Sherborn Community Center in October, and we hope to reopen by early December here in the new Sherborn Library. So right now we're looking at the original library, which we tried to preserve and to upgrade because although it's a vintage library, it still attracted sightseers and architects from the New England region because it is a lasting and timeless example of modern mid-century architecture. So you can see that a couple of the modifications that we've done to this library, which, is it a library without its books? I don't know, but here it is, our shelf that will soon have all the stacks of books along each side. We'll soon have the carpeting in place. We have converted the two wood fireplaces to gas fireplaces. There's one in the adult reading area, which we call our Ingle Nook, and then there's a fireplace on the second floor, young adult area, and we'll be able to have those, fires by gas. We'll have computers, and we'll have a reference area, and audio-visual, and the adult periodical area, and underneath the chandelier in the center of the library, and the cozy reading space around the fireplace, as well as quiet study carols on each side by the windows. And all of the glass is new, and we have also applied for LEED status, which is Leadership in Energy. What's the rest, Tom?
Design.
Design, yes, right. So that we're called a green building, and so we've adhered to some of those principles in the design, particularly in the new children's room. So the reference area is going to be here, and a librarian will be there at a counter and a desk with some computers and our reference and research materials. We have an audio-visual section with our media and section over here for people to access and also to sit by the windows overlooking the lovely landscape and the historic beech tree. And then we will have the stacks alongside each wall flanking. For those who remember the original library, we had tall stacks. We're reducing the stack height here so that we will be able to have more panoramic views of the four seasons while we're here enjoying the library and reading. The computer workstations will be here. Underneath the chandelier, we have the periodical reading area. And then, of course, we have our Indian fireplace where we'll have comfortable couches and cozy seating with the gas fireplace and study carols along each side. If you turn around and you look up at the fireplace area, for anyone who remembers the original library, that used to be a solid wall in the mezzanine conference room. And we put windows in as an enhancement to that conference room, which is actually a young adult space for collaborative study. So it kind of gives this mirror image of the skylights. All of the skylights are new, and it lets so much light in. And we also are able to use our controls in that conference room for solar shades, and so that we can block the sun, in the middle of the day when the sun is at high noon. So But it is a beautiful building. You will never see it again without its books. And so this is its shell, and it's still in very good shape for its 52 years. So this is the young adult reading area. We have a second fireplace, which was original to the building, but we now have it gas-fired. So the young adult reading area will have some lovely couches and comfortable seating for quiet reading, and the young adult collection is on each side of this mezzanine area. There's also a private study room that will be able to be reserved by students in small groups or for tutors for the younger children to be able to have some quiet study space. As you can see, when the chandelier is lit and we're overlooking the adult reading area, it really brings everyone together in this one very cozy space that's so well united with the outside and the sky. So it's a very wholesome and healthy building to feel, to be in and to spend time. We replaced all of the lighting, so we're looking forward to having, better lighting and the automatic controls that go with, the contemporary use of lighting in a public building. We can go down to the young adult room. One of my favorite rooms. It's a young adult space for collaborative study. We're going to have a bank of wired tables here for the students to be able to sit down and use their workstations. There's going to be a large screen television on the wall there to be able to do some media interaction and streaming of things. But what I love about this room is, the way that it has the two windows ascending and the skylights above, and just the way that the rest of the library is kind of mirrored in the lines of this room. And again, when you're looking, through the glass to the rest of the community using the space downstairs, you can also see the beautiful fireplaces lit on both levels, and the chandelier, which is original to the building. So it's an inspiring room.
Awesome.
You want to continue down?
Sure.
We have study carrels, and in this area we have another tutoring room. So there's a small conference room that people will be able to reserve it online, and there'll be these 1 or 2 hour opportunities to use this tutoring room and have some quiet study space in small groups. And then the director's office. That little corner of the world. And then we can head downstairs if you'd like. Okay. We have given it, new accessible elevator and new, handles to be able to access both levels. Below the children's wing, we have the new community room, which is a public meeting space for library programs and for all of the other community groups and organizations to be able to reserve this space to have meetings and events. It has a seating capacity of 90 people, There is a large screen projector installed. There'll be a stage, podium here, and there'll be audio-visual presentation equipment, as well as all of the system technology that would go with being in public address systems. And the room can also be broken down and rearranged for different kinds of uses. Off of the community meeting room, we have a smaller conference room that we call the Trustees Conference Room. This can also be reserved after hours by different community groups if they wish to come in and use it for a smaller meeting space. It has a whiteboard, and it'll also have audio-visual capacity, and it's accessible from the lower part of the campus. And there's a catering area, so if there's an event where refreshments are going to be served, we have a refrigerator and the counter space and cabinets here to be able to serve refreshments at the various community events. So this again would be, reserved using our new software system that we're going to install for after-hours use. That means that librarians don't have to be present. It's accessible independently of the rest of the library, and we already have a number of people asking, for the dates when they would like to be able to use it. So we believe this is going to receive a lot of use. This is where the original library ended, and we used to be able to go out to a patio here. But we've added the new children's wing, and we've attached it to the original library with this area that we call the connector. And this area is another way to access the building using the parking lot near the police station and town hall, and to come in this way and be able to go to the original library where the adult collection is, or to the new children's wing. This is our new children's wing. This is one of the greatest accomplishments of our project, was to have a room dedicated to children's services. It mirrors, it's kind of a miniature version of the original library in its lines and in its language of integrating, all of the outdoors. If you can imagine this during fall foliage, you can imagine it during the snow. There's this panorama surrounding the children's room. And here is a space for school-age children and younger teens. As we saw, the young adults have a space in the original library. And here, there will be the children's computer workstations, and we'll have some study tables for the school-age children here, and the stacks for all of the different books on that side. And then we have a story time room. This is called Nora's Treehouse. It's named after Nora Elizabeth Searle. This room is where the children will be able to do crafts and story time with the librarian. It's going to be very exciting for the small children to come over to this window, and they'll get this real sense of being in a treehouse, because with their little selves, they'll be looking out over the boughs and branches of our surrounding trees, and they'll be able to see the community coming and going from here. And there'll be story time seating and craft supplies here to be able to spend time with the children quietly in this part. The mural will be painted on this wall. Muralist Robert Evans of Sherborn will be coming in the months ahead to paint. And it's a nature scene, and it'll definitely complement the idea of this being a treehouse, because we'll have a sense of a treehouse painted like this is a private, secret place in the trees for the children to have their magical story time. So we're really looking forward to that getting started. So there'll be some of the stacks here for the children and a couple of little study desks. And here's the librarian's desk to check the books and things in and out to the children so they can sit down and work with the children at child's height. And we have facilities here so that the room is, it's self-contained. Everything that you need is here for families when they come in. And there's also a beautiful patio area that we'll be able to access for outdoor story times or in fine weather to be able to sit outside, and families can enjoy time out of doors, which, especially during the pandemic was, essential to be able to socialize outside, and we now can do that with or without our masks. This is the terrace that extends from the children's wing, and this was a foundation gift to be able to, allow families to come outside and enjoy story times outside, or there'll be furnishings here for people to sit outside. There's adjacent parking, and there's paths that unite, the rest of the campus to the library and the other sides of the building. We work very hard to preserve all of the large trees throughout construction. And you can see from here that behind this tree, that's the original library and where it used to end. And the children's room is this lovely extension, a smaller version of the original library, and it just ties in really well. Looks like it was always here.